As over 10 lakh aspirants gear up for the civil services examination this year, have you ever wondered how India's civil services became what they are today? Let's take a quick journey through history. It all started about 250 years ago, where the East India Company saw the need to manage its growing empire. The foundation for this was laid by Governor General Warren Hastings, and it was further reformed by Governor General Cornwallis, who is also known as the father of civil services in India. Back then, the recruitment was based on favoritism, with two distinct divisions. First, the covenanted civil services that was reserved for European in higher posts, and second, the uncovenanted civil services that was limited to Indians in lower roles. All of this changed with the Charter Act of 1853, which introduced a merit-based exam. The first Indian civil services exam was held in 1855, but only in London, only in English, and only focused on European classics, thus limiting Indian participation. Despite this, Satyendranath Tagore became the first Indian to crack the civil services exam in 1863. Yet, by the late 19th century, Indian representation remained dismally low. By 1885, the Indian National Congress started demanding reforms in the civil services exams, including a demand to hold the exams in India itself. The Government of India Act 1919 not only restructured the services into three categories, All India, Provincial and Subordinate Services, but also in 1922, the exam was held for the first time in India, though the selected candidates were still trained in England. To further increase the Indian representation, the Public Service Commission was established in 1926, which was later reconstituted as the Federal Public Service Commission by the Government of India Act 1935. By this time, only three services remained all India: the Indian Civil Services, the Indian Police Services, and the Indian Medical Services. After independence in 1947, the Indian Civil Services was renamed as the Indian Administrative Services, or the IAS, while the Indian Medical Services was abolished. In 1950, the Federal Public Service Commission became the Union Public Service Commission, as we know it today. While with the establishment of UPSC, the recruitment was made Indian, in 1958, the National Academy of Administration, that is now known as Labasna, was established to train IAS officers within India. In 1966, the Indian Forest Services was added as the third All India service under Article 312 of the Indian Constitution. And that's how India's civil services evolved from a colonial bureaucracy to what Sardar Patel referred to as a steel frame of governance in India. Samagra will be back soon with yet another episode of Governance Decluttered, where we decode everyday governance in India.